very knee-jerk, ad hoc. Like, for instance, this threatened buy or merger, whatever they may term it, of PLDT and Sun. Knee-jerk reaction, let's create a competition authority. Incidentally, that's not original. This is under Swiss competition laws. There is a competition commission which controls the pricing.
I see.
Nestle is Swiss, no? So,
but they don't control the pricing of everything.
They don't, well,
you have prime commodities.
Well, even prime commodities.
That's it. If not everything. That's why you have prime commodities under the competition agency, right?
Yes. No. In fact, this competition authority is very limited in mandate. Ang mandate ng authority nito is just to investigate, to see whether there is unfair competition or restrictive business practice in this PLDT Sun. I think it should be widened, no? Because the DTI has reneged on its duty. You go to the DTI and say, this is unfair to the SME. What will the DTI say in our instance? It dismissed our case because it said our mandate is to protect the consumer. Your SME, your Filipino business is not a consumer. Karen, let me take this opportunity to put it in simple terms. Now that the government is looking at daang matuwid, no? Not only should we look at corruption, we should overall review our economic policies, which have resulted in monopolies and, for instance, under the Philippine Medium-Term Development Plan, it stands on 3 legs. The first leg is deregulation. Because of the policy of deregulation, wala na ngang government intervention. So these oil companies can just talk among each other and raise the price.
But all over the world, there is no longer a regulated oil industry in any country.
Yes, I mean, but you see,
the oil industry is too big to regulate. That's been proven.
Except that there are remedies in administrative agencies. If there were an administrative agency, it can see whether that price demanded by the oil companies, for instance, is a fair price. So we don't have that.
That's one.
That's one, deregulation. The second is privatization. We have privatized our power. We have privatized our electricity. We have privatized our water. And who have these public utilities landed with? They have landed with big companies.
Yes, but the reason is, if I remember this correctly, is that private companies run them better, government has too much bureaucracy, and water companies and electricity companies cannot raise their prices on their own. They are regulated. I mean, Manila Water and Maynilad cannot raise prices when it wants. So why is that an issue when they're run better now?
Well, that is, it is a myth that they can be regulated. For instance, Meralco. I'm sorry if...
it's okay.
Meralco, for instance, there is an energy regulatory board.
Yes.
And they're supposed to have public hearings. Have you heard of the public hearings?
Yeah, but so it's the part of the energy regulatory board.
Yes. So to say that the public utilities, in any event, even if in the hands of monopolies there still is a regulatory agency, is a myth. Regulatory agencies do not fulfill the functions they're supposed to do, which is precisely regulation.
All right, next.
And then lastly, really, under the medium development plan is import liberalization. Dito hot yung issue ng do not buy Chinese. Diba? So, because of import liberalization, we have opened our economy to goods coming in from abroad. And the rationale for that is consumers. The consumers now have a choice of cheaper goods. But what are these cheaper goods? These cheaper goods is really, if you look at it, dumping. Countries which have an excess of goods dump it to economies like us.
Now, will that be in the antitrust code, all of this?
Yes, because the antitrust code now seeks to address deregulation through more government regulation. It seeks to address privatization issues through regulation of monopolies. And it seeks to address import liberalization through giving more teeth. For instance, Karen.
Very quickly.
Even if there is an agency that finds them guilty, what is the penalty? The penalty is what? 500,000 pesos or 6 months imprisonment. If I were a multinational, for instance, Nestle, I'll pay the 500,000 pesos.
Okay.
This is not so in other countries. For instance, Switzerland. Ang penalty na yan will really hit the bottom line where it counts. For instance, unfair or manipulative pricing in Switzerland or monopolies.
Okay.
They are penalized 10%. As an example, 10% of their profit for the last 3 years.
Okay.
That hurts.
Okay. All right. So definitely you're supporting the, well, EO45 when it makes a competition authority will put the needs for the antitrust.
We should enlarge the EO45 is a very good move on the part of the president. But number one, we should enlarge the mandate, not only specifically to PLDT Sun, but also to, especially now, oil companies, Shell, Chevron,
Everything.
and to manufacturing companies like Nestle. No? And the Department of Justice Secretary must be aided by other government agencies who must support her, like the DTI should tell her what is fair pricing.
All right. Okay. Well, on that note, Attorney Lorna Kapunan, good luck to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen.
When we return, our second hot copy today, we'll be talking to the genius behind what we call cloud computing. Winston Damarillo, who is also a co-young global leader of the World Economic Forum. He is the CEO of Morphs Labs. You're watching Head Start with me, Karen Davila. Tweet your questions for Winston.